Hi everybody, back with another installment with this Concertina journal, and I'm paging through it again and just looking at it. I'm still not really thrilled with this very first page here, but you know, we don't have to love every one of these pages, and it's important to keep that in mind because if we keep striving to do nothing but make beautiful pages, we won't take risks and see what happens. So I think I am done working on this, even though I don't feel like it's great. I really like this page. I think this one's interesting. This one also I like. I feel that that's done. I think it's interesting as well. This one is, I really like it, but I feel like there's a little bit of something missing, and I think it's around this green back in here that I initially splashed on this page in an effort to kind of get rid of some ink, and I'm not a big fan of this color. So I think what I'm gonna do, if I can find a brush, I have some of this glaze that I had mixed up from the last session, and I'm gonna just take some of this purple glaze and let's see what I can get over this. See if I can make this, first of all, tie into the purple better and back off that green a little bit and just see how that works out. It's also going to kind of reinforce some of these other shapes that are in here, and I kind of like that idea. I do like what's happening there with that. So what if this came, that white in there is glazing fluid that isn't mixed in all the way. So what if I came down to here and brought this around? This is the conversation that's always going on in my head, is what if I did this? What if I tried that? And this is why I'm so enamored with these Concertina journals, because I can take these risks, and if it doesn't work out, oh well. You know, it's just not that big of a deal. So, whoops. And I've also got gloss medium over the top of this, so if I hated this or if I painted over something that I decided I liked, as long as I catch it before it's dry, I can wipe it off again. And because this is a glaze, I don't have to worry about going over other things and losing them completely. Now, what if this came over to here? Even like this. It's definitely knocked back that green that I don't like. And there's still some of that over here. Okay, so let me think about, there's also some of it over here. So maybe if I bring this, I do like those white dots, so I kind of don't want to cover those up. So I don't want to get too picky about painting around them either, but I think that might just be fine. Let's kind of let it just sort of fade off a little bit. Maybe even down into here, yeah. Okay, and then over into here, let's see where I am with the picture frame. Still too much stuff on my table, as always. Small spaces, large pieces. I'm going to bring that through here because there's still some of that green right underneath there. Not only am I not fond of it, but it doesn't really go very well with the rest of the colors that I have chosen in this. I did the staining underneath this a long time before I started this project. So there's sort of a disconnect. And I don't know about you, but I find that when there's a disconnect, whoops, that's too much. When there's a disconnect between start and finish, or between periods of working on something, often I lose the energy of the initial piece, and it's very hard to get it back. That's interesting. Let's see. What if this also came down into here like this? Okay. I think that made a huge difference on that. I don't know about you. I may come back in with some more white later when it's dry. This one, I think, could benefit from a little bit of this as well. But where? Maybe kind of make it sort of a geometric shape. I've got so much tissue paper on there. I think I said last time I'm working on incorporating geometric shapes into my work. So I have a tendency to go curves and organic. I'll see how much flexibility I have with this 1-inch wide brush. I can get anything from a nice wide stripe to a very thin line. I'm going to bring that right over in here. It's going to disappear over there, but I think that that is interesting too. What if we, and it's not enough though, it's sort of, I need a little bit more over here, I think maybe. I think that is that area. I really like this page, but that brown area in the center just didn't do much for me. So I'm kind of happy to have moved that on. I'm trying to make room over on the side here for this to fall off of the page or off of the table as I keep looking. Now then, I really like this page. I think that page might be done. This page is not done. So I was going to come back in here with my oil bars, but let's see about, okay, so the reason that I think this page sort of works on its own. I've got that green in there, which I don't like, but the problem with it for me is that it doesn't tie in. All the rest is about purple and teal. And then we've got this page, which has, it's very floral rather than graphic. It has pink and the green. So I think this needs something to tie it into the rest of the book and make it feel more complete. So I'm going to go back to this glaze again. And what if we just... thinking about overlapping my shapes a little bit, knocking some parts back, leaving others where they are. And I've got this darn green. What if I let this become thinner and kind of feather out a bit? So that I have a bit of a, I'm sorry, I missed that, lost that white though. Let's see if we can get that back. Just close it up. The air is extremely dry here, and I keep things dry up faster than I want them to. I didn't put my gloves on because I didn't think I was going to get messy, and here I am. So that seems to be working out all right. Doesn't have to be perfect by any means. Just get it back a little bit. Create a little bit more contrast in that area again. Okay. I think that helped quite a bit. I would kind of like to see a bit more of that glaze down in here. And I'm off the page, or off the camera pointing at that. I would like to see this move. All this wet glaze over here. There we go. Drop that right there on the edge. That'll help. I'd like to see this come over this way a little bit, but without losing that stencil. So let's see if we kind of came up a little bit higher. I've already got one there, so this is kind of cool that that's overlapping. One overlapping the other. Okay, I think that helped with this too. Wonder about, too late, and you know, it's okay anyway because that's that green. So I'll probably still come back through that again with some oil bars and see what happens. Now here I've got those green stripes. Same problem. Let's see. Just covering that with a little bit of a glaze really helps quite a bit, I think. Along in here this way a little bit too. It's kind of a good idea not to have anything much happening right in the center of your painting. It has a tendency to make things kind of stagnant. It makes the viewer's eye sort of stick, if that makes sense. Okay, so there's a bunch more of that. A little bit of texture into there will help a bit. All right, that made a big difference there too. This white is sort of bugging me a little now too. Let's just tone that just a little. Maybe same thing over here, just a little. All right, let's see. What I was thinking about was oil bar. So let me readjust over here so I don't knock my tea over. I decided I was done with that. This is still okay. That dried pretty well. So I have these oil bars. I can't remember if I've showed you these or not. So they're Shiva sticks. I like these over oil pastels because they do not have wax in them, so they do actually dry. They are also oil, so I'm going to put my gloves on. Okay, for this I'm thinking white. Let's see, here's the white one. So they're an oil bar. They're just oil and you can smell the linseed oil, but there's no solvents in them, so they don't bother at least my allergies. I can't speak to what might happen for you if you have allergies, but what happens is that they skin over and seal themselves. So when you're ready to use them again, you just peel the dried paint off of the edge, off of the tip, and you're ready to go. So let's see, I've got that nice line there. Where's my focal point is over here, so let's do something kind of now this will take, all right, now didn't that make a difference? This will take a day to two to dry, depending on how thick it goes on. But as I said, it does dry. That is a huge thing. That's annoying. So the trick is not to go too far. So I really like this, but I think I'm going to just do just one thing like that to kind of continue on with that motif of going around. And this has some of that too in a different place. So what if we kind of accentuate that again? Now this is oil, so it will be, there are issues with adhesion when you paint fat, when you paint lean over fat. So when you put acrylic paint over oil paint, you possibly run into problems with adhesion. Many people do this anyway and don't seem to have an issue with it. Nothing drives me crazier than to have something I'm really happy with and then have the paint pull off of it or something like that. So I don't do that. I try not to do that. Every once in a while I decide it's worth the risk if I'm working in a journal or something like that. But the reason I say that right here, right now, is because I'm going to stop with that, because I feel like that page might be done, or maybe it needs a little bit of embellishment, but it's not going to need a lot more work. This, however, is not maybe done. I like it though. I like this yellow in here. I'm liking this a whole lot more than I thought I would. So I'm going to leave that for now. I'm not sure it's completely complete. So I don't want to put a lot of oil bar over the top of that. I want to wait and see if I want more latex paint or more acrylic paint first. This page is also getting close to done, so I'm making some progress with this, and that's exciting. There's a lot more back here that is not close, but I think that's for another installment. So I'm going to stop recording right now, and I'll see you in the next video.